we're going to mastermind today, and we're going to talk about the pyramid toward mastery.
Welcome to the Icon Coaching Mastermind session with Sean Kokoska. We're going to mastermind today, and we're going to talk about the pyramid toward mastery.
So Rob, I can help you. So Rob, I had a question last week, or I think it was last week, when you said you brought 5 people on 1 week. Like, what did you say to those people?
Whenever I brought those in, you know something, Scott? Oh, you're talking about kind of like the attraction in action, right?
Yeah. You were like, you brought
okay,
5
well,
people.
that's a good thing to talk right now. So that's what I wanted to talk to Jack about too. I mean, so because Jack brings a lot of people in. But anyway, you know, something that I do, and I think maybe I have said this before, Scott, but I think it bears repeating. I teach a lot of classes. I teach a lot of free classes, and I put it out to every company out there. Okay. And so I'll get, for example, I have 6 master classes that I'm teaching right now. And I think that's a key. You know, what can you teach? And then put it out there. I get a couple of 100 people to register. I get 100 people there. And then here's what I say to them, that if anybody would like to be, you know, be part of the $100,000 club for 2024, you want to make $100,000 to $250,000, you know, then you just say yes over in the chat. And man, I'll get 15 yeses, right? And so then I will set an appointment with every single one of them that will give me an appointment. And then whenever I get them on there, I say, okay, there's 3 doors. I got 3 doors for you. Number 1 door is you can join the $100,000 club, the $102,000 to $250,000 club. It's free. We're going to mastermind. We're going to do these things. And that's what I do. I say, second, you know, you can be part of Icon Coaching. You know, that's going to cost. Or number 3, and this is the one that hits them. I said, I can tell you why I joined EXP. Would you like to know? And so when they say that, then I go down the rabbit hole just a little bit more after I tell them. And I say, okay,
Let me know.
Last thing I want to say to you is that I have a video that I like to show you, but I'd like to plan another time where you and I just watch it. And if you say yes to this, that means you are really interested in being part. And that's how I got them. And
that's a good funnel. You create a good funnel.
Yeah.
Right on.
Makes sense.
Well, we've got the recording going, so let's start this thing off right. Welcome to our Tuesday afternoon mastermind session. Okay, we call this accelerated breakthrough because we want to help you accelerate your breakthrough to the next level of production in your business, the next level of mindset within your current strategy. So, guys, we're going to mastermind today, and we're going to talk about the pyramid toward mastery, this model toward mastery that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to share my screen here in a moment. But before we dive in, I want to hear a few wins from you guys. Tell me something good that's happened over the course of the last week. Come on, guys. Did you get a buyer under contract? Get a buyer agency contract signed, a new listing, place the property in escrow?
Closed a couple deals.
All right, Thomas, tell me about that. Where'd they come from?
Let's see. One was a Florida investor. So I'm in Cleveland. So we locked him down a duplex there, and that went very smoothly. And then another one was a listing that I double-sided in Norwalk, and had a little bit of drama, but we got through it.
Attaboy. Way to go. Well, tell everybody, what is that, man?
It's winning. Yeah.
Winning, man. I love it when you're winning. Anybody else? Who's got to win? Come on, give me some energy, guys. Let's hear it.
I have one deal that I'm co-listing with a commercial agent, and then after 3 months, it actually went into escrow.
All right, Jack. Way to go, man. That is winning. And Jack, I love working with you and your wife Anne. Every single week, one-on-one. We're gonna accomplish some amazing things, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and we'll do a quick review of the model toward mastery. Remember, at the base of everything we do, it's our foundation. 4 categories. It's our knowledge, skills, mindset, and habits. So our knowledge, gang, we got to know what to do. We got to know when to do it. Our skill, we got to know how to do it, right? We got to know what to say and how to say it. So focus on the first 2 key categories of knowledge and skill. It's going to immediately impact your mindset in a very positive way. So when you up your level of competence, you up your level of confidence. and that has an immediate impact on the third category, which is mindset. And then, of course, at the core of everything we do, it's our habits. Now, remember, F.M. Alexander said people don't decide their future, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. So my question is, are you consciously aware of the activities that are worth building habits around? Meaning, what is yielding you the highest return on your investment of time? And are you doing that consistently? You've brought that action to the point of what I now call automaticity, where you just show up to work and it's something you just do consistently, repetitively. It's an expectation you hold of yourself. It's part of your personal paradigm. This is who I am. This is what I do. And therefore, I get these results. In fact, let's just open it up for a quick discussion. What are some of the activities that you should be being focused on getting that habit around? What do you think?
Just calling 10, 20 people a day.
Yes, establishing your standard, your KPI, key performance indicators, and then sticking true to that. So if it's 10 live conversations a day, if it's 20 live conversations a day, maybe it's 5 conversations a day around agent attraction, whatever that might look like for you, you're adhering to the standard. You're focused on forming that habit. Great job, Jack. You're my favorite person right now, brother. Thank you. Somebody else, tell me, what's an activity that's worth building a habit around?
Tell you, I committed about 7 years ago to every time I get a referral, personal referral that comes to me, I make an appointment for a consultation. Every one of them. If they don't want to do a consultation, then it's probably not a good fit right off the bat.
No.
So that consultation was a line in the sand, and it's really been a game changer for how to control my life and control the deal, get the trust up high. So it's a great, great habit that I put in place. It's really worked out well.
Way to go, Scott. I love that habit. And like you said, if they're not willing to set a consultation, it's probably not going to go well. And I totally agree. See, buyers buy 100% of the time. Sellers buy 100% of the time. And what I mean by that is, I don't care if it's giving you their cell phone number or signing a buyer agency or a listing contract. They're going to do what they need to do to accomplish their goals because they're motivated. So way to go, Scott. That's a great habit to form. Give me some other activities that are worth building habits around.
I have one.
Take it away.
Adding 5 new names a day to my database.
Dude, I love that. That is so good. So good. How are you tracking that, by the way?
Well, I have a form, like a daily activity tracker where I could keep track of how many new names I added on a daily basis, Monday through Friday.
That is awesome. And how are you holding yourself accountable to that? I'm curious.
Well, it's just something I have to do. I have a lot of responsibilities. And if I'm not getting the results I want, I know it's, I have to step it up.
Okay. And I think that the reason I asked that question is that one of the greatest challenges that we have as independent contractors is accountability. I mean, we want all the freedom, all the flexibility in the world, and yet we struggle with ways to be accountable to making that happen. So having a form, something you're going to fill out every single day, come hell or high water, I'm adding 5 people to my database every single day. Now, this is critically important, by the way. Now, these would be people that you've already spoken with. Is that right?
Yeah.
So you had a live conversation, you've established rapport, you've gained some trust. So they're moving into that inner circle of what I call the SOI. It's an acronym, guys. What does it stand for?
Sphere of influence.
Let me change your mindset on that. It stands for source of income. Source of income.
Okay.
And sphere of influence. Yet, yeah, so they're moving closer and closer to that inner circle, that SOI. And here's why this is important. And I'm so glad you chose that as a habit, because for every 12 people you have in your SOI, you're going to do 2 deals for you when you communicate with them systematically. Now, what I'm talking about is a 36 touch campaign that you're reaching out to them proactively 36 times per year, 3 times per month. There's a series of different communication modalities, such as text messages, emails, direct mail, personal phone calls, direct messages on social channels, things of that nature. So with that said, critically important. See, if you had 250 people in that SOI, you're going to do about 42 deals per year just from the SOI. Guys, there's something that I want you to experience. It's a feeling of entitlement, knowing that when you communicate with them aggressively, systematically, that you're going to do that many deals, depending on how many people in your SOI. Great habit to form. Okay, what's another activity to build a habit around?
Waking up early, sleeping early.
I love it, Jack. So waking
Videos.
up early, getting up early. See, it's funny that, when I was running my team, the individuals who showed up earliest in the morning were without question always, and I mean 100% of the time, the highest producers on the team. Why do you suppose that is, Gay?
I think they're very intentional.
So intentional, why showing up early? How does that make you intentional? Talk to me.
I think they prepare the night before. They intentionally sleep earlier so they can wake up earlier, so they can do the morning routine, and so they're ready for the day.
I love it, Jack. Any other thoughts there, guys? Why is it that the people who showed up earliest were always the highest producers on the team?
The desire comes to my head. The desire, they had the highest desire to want to achieve.
They have the highest desire to want to achieve. I love that, Scott. Way to go. Any other thoughts there?
They're
Discipline.
focused.
Discipline, focus. Yes, all of these words are important, and yet many people just don't have the discipline, the willpower, the determination to get up early, to get into the office early. See, to me, it demonstrates a rock solid work ethic to get in early. And as you get in early, you find yourself getting organized. And when it's time to get on the phones and start your lead generation, lead follow-up, recruiting activities, well, then you can truly be on purpose. See, most people, they set a time block. Let's say I'm going to lead generate from 9 to 11. And they show up at the office at 9 o'clock. They're disheveled. They start organizing their list. And here it is 10 o'clock. They haven't made a single phone call yet. How many of you guys have ever experienced that besides me? Yeah, no doubt that we just get disheveled, and that's challenging. Let's talk about another activity that's worth building a habit around. What do you guys think?
I mean, everybody would agree, I would think, that just working out, getting a workout in, there's no doubt the more vitality you have in your life, the more you can stick to these, you can create these habits and build the confidence, and obviously go for longevity. I think the other thing I'll make a comment on this is that whatever habit I've always preached, if you're going to start a habit, try to create a habit you can do the rest of your life. So if you're not used to getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 and trying to get a workout in, and that's a struggle for you, that's probably not going to rest, you're probably not going to hang out that rest of life.
Well, it's going to require, going to require discipline at first. Any activity that you're not used to doing requires an inordinate amount of discipline. So it's really hard to do at first. You're exercising a new muscle, and it's really, really challenging. Yet the key is to apply discipline for just 66 days in a row. And by the time you're done with that 66-day challenge, which, by the way, you can go to iconcoaching.com, go to the free resources, download that 66-day challenge, print it off, identify the activity that you want to build the habit around. Exercise, great habit. See, there's 7 key areas of life, right? Number 1 is our spiritual life, and I'm going to place them in order of priority, okay? So to me, the most important thing is the spiritual life, whether it's your God, your maker, whatever that is, your higher power, to form that relationship. I think that's critically important. Number 2 is your physical health, okay? So if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? And I've said this before, replacement parts are really hard to find, and they're very expensive, okay? So number 3 is your personal life. I'm talking about your hobby. What's going to ground you personally? And for me, it's golf, or getting out on the lake, with my kids or my family. Number 4 is your key relationships. So 2 categories there. It's your business relationships and then your personal relationships. And every relationship requires its own counterbalancing strategy. Next to that is your job, when you're down in the weeds actually doing the work. Next to that is your business, where you're working on your business instead of in your business. And then finally, it's your finances. And I would encourage you to find one action that you could take in all 7 key areas of your life to begin forming a habit around, applying that discipline. Like for me, as it relates to the financial life, once per month, my wife and I get together and we calculate our net worth. What that does is it forces us to make sound decisions as it relates to our money, to watch that number increase rather than decrease month after month after month, right? So it's a simple exercise. It's a balance sheet where you take your debts and then you take your assets and you add them up, and then you simply subtract the debts from the assets and you come up with your net worth. It's a really simple exercise, takes all of about 15 minutes to accomplish. Yet by doing that one thing and forming a habit around doing that at the last day of the month, every month, it's forced us to make different decisions financially. What's another activity that's worth building a habit around? Let's do this real quick.
I think there are so many.
There are so many. And yet there's 1,000 different things you could do. What I want you to do is determine what should you do. Like when
Well, if you're gonna lead generate early in the morning, let's say from 9 o'clock to 12, just like you said, most people get in at 9 o'clock and they start looking up their names, they start looking up everything. If you can either, number one, be a habit to plan before you go to bed the night before, to be able to, and have everything ready by the time that you do reach at 9 o'clock, or of course get up earlier so that you can plan. But again, I would say the night before you go to bed, you get all the names, you get everything that you need to do, and hit the ground running whenever you come in that morning.
Love that. You'll sleep better, number one, and you'll show up on purpose. Okay. I love that one, Rob. Give me another activity. Like, here's an example. I interviewed a gal named Terry Morler. She's out in Thousand Oaks, California. She'd built an empire, by the way. She had like 5 different market centers, over 900 agents. Her personal production exceeded 100 transactions per year and an average price point of about 1.2 million. Not bad. I said, Terry, how is it that you did that? And someday I'm going to write a book. I'm going to call it Just. That's going to be the title, Just. Because everybody that I've interviewed or coached that has achieved extraordinary success, I say, how did you do that? And they say these words to me. Oh, I just, and then fill in the blank, right? What is your just? For her, it was sending 10 thank you cards every day. She just did it as a habit. Now, at first it was a discipline. And after about 66 days, it becomes a habit. 10 thank you cards every single day. Could you imagine? Now, as a direct result of doing that, look at the compounding effects of doing just one thing, one simple thing that anybody could do. I mean, is it one social media post per day? Is it 10 direct messages per day? Is it following and liking and commenting on other people's posts every day, a certain number? What is it for you that's going to be your just? So nevertheless, I think I've spent enough time on that. Yet the reason I wanted to is because I believe that habits are at the core of everything that we do. Habits are what we become, essentially. And you can choose good habits, you can choose bad habits, yet habits really shape us, they form us, and they predict the future for us, okay? So next is our pipeline phase. Last week we spent quite a bit of time talking about the pipeline phase. What are you doing right now that's working in this changing market to convert buyers, to get listing leads and convert those listings? What are you doing? So we talked a lot about that last week. I'd encourage you to go back and watch the replay. And then today I wanted to talk a lot about momentum. One of my favorite words, by the way, momentum. See, to me, it's the biggest magnifier. When we possess momentum, guess what, gang? We look 10 times better than we actually are. When we lack momentum, we look 10 times worse. So with that said, some of you heard me talk about the locomotive as it relates to momentum. See, when I think of momentum, I think about all the weight of a train, and they get it up to, say, 55 miles an hour. It could crush through a 6-foot wall of concrete that's reinforced by steel, and it'll keep going. You take the same locomotive in a stationary position and a 2-inch block under one of the wheels, it can't get going at all. So today, I really want to talk about your blocks. And how do we identify them? How do we then remove them? See, awareness is the first step to any positive change. So I want to bring up a couple of categories, and I want you to think in terms of a 0 to 10 rating, 10 being excellent, 0 being like I suck at that. Number 1 is proactive lead generation. That you're time blocking the time, that you're consistently lead generating to bring new leads, fresh leads into your business. How would you rate yourself 0 to 10? Go ahead and write down your number. Second category is lead follow-up. Those buyers who don't want to buy with you right now, or those sellers who don't want to list with you today, how would you rate yourself 0 to 10 on your consistency around lead follow-up and conversion? Number 3, it's a little bit different. See, according to Webster's, the dictionary, the definition of the word success is getting what you want. Not what I think you should want or Rob thinks you should want. It's about getting what you want. So how would you rate the clarity that you possess around what you want out of your life? 0 to 10. Now, knowing what you want and knowing how you're going to get it, two totally different things, no doubt. So next, I want you to rate yourself on your business plan. That you've got a rock solid business plan that's providing you with the clarity that you need to do what you need to do when you need to do it, applying the right leverage to make that happen. How would you rate that 0 to 10? Go ahead and write down your number. Then finally, I want you to rate yourself on efficiency, meaning when you're in your job and you're doing the work required for you to achieve the goals that you choose to achieve, that you're on purpose, that you're focused. You're saying no to the distractions, the things that pop up day in and day out, that pull you away from your priority, that you're following a time block schedule, you're doing what you need to do when you need to do it. 0 to 10. How would you rate yourself? All right, gang, add up your numbers. No judgment on my part, by the way, no judgment at all. Remember, every master was once a disaster, and that's okay. Add up your numbers. And now I want you to multiply that number by 2, okay? Multiply it by 2. Write down your new number. So the first number was your possible score out of 50. Your second number is your possible score out of 100. So let me ask, is it a passing grade? Is it a passing grade? Is it above 60%? A 60% would be a D. Okay. 70% would be a C. You guys with me? 80 to 90 would be a B, I guess. 90 to 100 would be an A. How are you doing? And based on that, let me ask a few questions. What is not being done in your business right now that if it were being done would have a dramatic impact on your results? Somebody share with me your answer. Again, what is not being done in your business right now that if it were being done, it would have a dramatic impact on your results?
Getting organized and hiring assistant.
Okay, Jack, I love it. Getting organized and hiring an assistant. Now, I think the reason you'd hire an assistant is to get organized, right? So Jack and everybody else, I want you to think in terms of who, not you. Who can do that for you? See, there's a who out there who knows the how. Your job as a leader is to identify and cast a vision, to describe the why behind the accomplishment of the vision. What's in it for the organization? What's in it for you? What's in it for them? And then simply develop a mutually beneficial, results-driven compensation model that enables them to act like owners. So with all of that said, gang, I'm going to let y'all run. We're at the bottom of the hour right now. I've got another call to jump to. Keep showing up, okay? Please keep showing up. We're going to improve the strength of your foundation. With the right foundation, gang, you can build your business as big as you want to build it. And we're here to help you do that. So thank you for being here. Thanks for your focus, your energy, your attention, your participation. Until we talk again next week, just be on purpose, be productive, and be powerful. Talk to y'all then. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
If you would like to hear more masterminds, hit like and follow us on our social media channels. If you would like to be part of our mastermind session, click the link in the description and join us on our next Accelerated Breakthrough Plus Mastermind.